Okay, folks, in this video, I want to demonstrate and show you probably one of the most powerful software tools on the market right now for hosting Facebook groups. And this is a Facebook Groups poster that owns FB Groups poster version 2. For those of you that seen version 1, you know this is a much more enhanced version that you need to have in your arsenal if you want to post Facebook groups and you want to do it effectively and you want to do it and put them all out for the most part, okay? I'm going to just walk through these tabs here. I'm going to try not to take too much time, but I'm going to walk through these tabs so you can understand what you need to get your hands on here very shortly. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this started, all right? Now, when you first open the software up, you're going to see the interface as is. You're going to see automatically it's going to open up the X tab. The X tab specifically shows your Facebook username, email address, password, and it will save these details by naming it to a profile, okay? You can call this profile whatever you want to call it. You can call it whatever. As you see, I already named a profile that I saved, Sean's profile. If I hit the load button, it will load up my Facebook username, email address, and password, so I don't have to type it in each and every time. So imagine you had 10 to 15 different Facebook accounts. You can load all those up and save them to your own individual profile, hit the load button, and recall those details immediately, okay? You can also delete these profiles. They retain the same information, and it's too easy, folks. So for those of you that don't want to have spreadsheets and have to have text documents of all your different Facebook accounts, you just save them in one place and you're good to go, all right? Now, next we have our videos link here. So those of you that don't want to have to sit there and try to recall all this information at once, I create a videos page with all links to different videos that pertain to each of these tabs at the top, and you can easily go watch that video for the specific tab and see the functions and everything else that pertains to that tab. So this actually, when you click on this link, a browser window will pop up that will have all those links in one place. So now, moving on to the change log tab. If you want to know the most recent update or when you just download it, I compile all the details, all the updates, all the different changes that the software has been through, starting with version 3.8, I believe. And all you do is click the change log link, and those details will appear for you so you can see what's going on with the software or what's the last recent change, okay? Next, we will move on to the join groups tab. But before that, folks, if you want more specific details, information on all these different tabs in great detail, just view the link underneath this video. It will take you to other videos for each of these tabs, okay? Moving on. We will talk about the 3 different options you can join groups. You can join groups from another Facebook user. You can join their open groups by putting their Facebook username here in this field. You can also join groups by search term / keyword, by putting the keyword / search term here and selecting how many groups you wish to join. You can also join groups from a list by coming over here, uploading a list of groups that you either compile somewhere, they have to be open groups, mind you. Or you can come over here and say, add groups to a list, and you can upload that list here. Once again, it has to be open groups only, okay? Which is what most of you are probably posting in anyway, which is open groups. Now, each of these tabs, you have the ability to basically pick a time, and the software will pick a random time between these 2 points. So if you want the software from 1 minute to 2 minutes to delay in between joining groups, so I will pick that random time between those 2 points to basically vary your activity, make it unique so that it's not the software is doing this, okay? Now, you can join groups that have more than X members. X is the number you would select, okay? So if you want to join groups that have more than 0 members, then you can join all the groups. You want to join groups that have more than 1 million, you probably wouldn't be joining many at all, probably at any, depending on your niche, okay? So that's all we will cover in the join groups tab. Gather groups. Gather groups, you can gather your open groups and your all groups, okay? Your all groups consist of open and closed groups, all right? Now, with open groups, you have the ability to select from the drop-down how many open groups specifically you want to gather of yours. These are groups that you have joined before. That's what your gathered groups are. It's groups that you've joined before and are approved to post in. Now, if you're doing all groups, all these groups on one page, so there's no drop-down. That's why I'm just going to just grab all those groups and it's going to save them to a list that you create somewhere on your computer. It's also going to save that list of groups to a master file that's inside the software folder and it's going to be the guided groups folder, okay? So just like software, when you have your all groups and open groups, you have an all groups and open groups folder. So if I save my open group, for these all groups, I save up on my all groups, it's going to save a master list of all my groups and actually have the name of the group, separated by a comma, then it's going to have the URL tag, okay? All of my all groups in a master list, which if you create an Excel spreadsheet, you can actually have this so that everything is pretty much laid out for you. You don't have to sort through anything really. It's really just right there at your fingertips, okay? And I should have to give you what you need to purchase with Microsoft Excel or OpenOffice. Too easy. And the same thing would happen for your open groups. Have a master list of your open groups as well. So this is a small little mini test here. And that's pretty much it. But the list of groups that you save, and you basically save this option here, would only contain the URLs. And why did I do that? I did that because if you want to post groups, which we'll discuss in the next tab, you don't have to sort through, okay, I have basically pick the name of the group and I have to separate it from the URL of the group. Because all you need to post these groups is the URL of the group. This is all you need. You don't need all this other stuff. This is not going to work like that. So that's why I created the option to have the master list save the name and the URL, and this option here is to save the URL of the groups, just in case you want to use that information to post to groups, which is what 99.9% of people will use it for. So, moving on to the next tab here. Now, this is going to save a lot of you from being restricted from Facebook from posting to groups. I'm just going to show you this here in just a moment and break it out for you, okay? So, if you want to post to, let's say, 200 groups for the day, so you choose 200, right? And you want to specify time, let's say 2 to 5 minutes or 1 to 2 minutes, let's say 1 to 2 minutes. So software is going to pick up a random time between 1 to 2 minutes to make a post to every group. It's going to delay that amount of time, okay? It's going to be a different time every time between 1 to 2 minutes. And this option here allows you to make X amount of posts before taking a break. So you say, well, I want to make 10 posts before I take a break. So software out of 200 groups is going to post to for the day. It's going to make 10 posts each and every time before it takes a break. And once it takes a break, you can tell software, okay, let's take a break for 15 minutes, okay? Folks, this is going to save some of you from yourself, okay? Because I have some customers that, I don't know what to say, but it's going to save you from yourself. Now, this is going to allow you to be totally random, totally vary your posts, and to totally just dominate Facebook groups, okay? Now, you don't want to set this thing to, and I actually have maxed out 1,000, but some of my customers, they can post 1,000 groups in one day. And, I have never tried posting 1,000 groups in one day, but some of my customers, they can. And I'm not going to limit them if that's what they have the ability to do. But for those of us that are on that minor league level, maybe only post a couple hundred groups a day, you can use this to maintain your accounts, okay? And not have to worry about, okay, well, Facebook restricted me because everything you did was stagnant. Everything was pretty much the same. So if you made a post, it was every 2 minutes on the mark. And after you do a couple hundred of those, I guess Facebook has an algorithm in place that will detect that. So this is totally set up for you to be successful in posting in Facebook groups. All right, moving on. Now, I just want to say one more thing. You have the ability to pause the software or basically allow it to take a break up to 24 hours, okay? So, let me just go over these again. So, you can delay the software for 3 hours, which is 180 minutes. 360, 6 hours, 720, 12 hours, and then 1440, 24 hours. So let's say you had a list of groups that you uploaded, and let's say you had 1,000 groups. Let's say, you say, well, I want to post to these 1,000 groups, but I want to do it, 200 groups every day, and I want to kind of just, I just want to have the software post 200 based off these settings. So whatever you have in this list, okay? You have 1,000 groups in this list, it's gonna basically go through this criteria and post to those groups. So if you, it's an option for some of you, if you only wanna the software every 24 hours to post to certain groups and post it 10 at a time. That's an option put in there. It may work for some of you, may not work for some of you, but this is an option. So anyway, folks, moving on, you have the ability to put your ad copy here and your URL here. You can spin both of these fields, but together you can save this information just like you could for the X tab over here. You have the ability to recall these two fields of information by saving them here. So let's say you had ad copy and you had a URL that you want to associate this ad copy at the top, name it, you can save it, and then load it from the drop down or delete it, okay? You also have the option to post to the groups with these four different options here. You can post text only, no URL, no photo, post URL only, no photo, post photo only, no URL, post URL with photo. So let's say we select the option to post URL with photo, okay? Now automatically this is default to no photo. But let's say you want to post URL with photo, right? So now you select how many photos do you want to, what do you want to do? You want to post the same photo, which means that you would just use this option here. You would grab that photo, this one single photo we use for each and every post that you make. If you selected the random photos, okay, what the software is going to do is in your folder with the software, you have FB poster folders, and you have this option that says random images and photos. When you open it up, you can decide as many photos, many images in here as you want, okay? And each and every time you post them, the software is going to take a random image or photo from this folder, and it's going to post that image or that photo with that post, okay? It's going to be different each and every time. Next, I want to discuss the ability to approve new group members, okay? This is brought to you by one of my customers. You have the ability, folks, to approve new group members. If that happens, get you that right, and this is usually for open groups. And if you have this checked, which means it's enabled, the software will look, see if there's members that are pending, waiting approval. If you approve that member, it's going to get a notification, and it's going to post their all made a post that you just posted to such a group. Like I said, you'll get a notification, and that's just one eyeballs on your material, your product, service, your opportunity, whatever you're doing when you're promoting within these Facebook groups. So, last thing, if you have a list of groups, just leave it uploaded. And it doesn't matter if they're open groups or closed groups, just leave it uploaded to the groups that you're going to post to. And then the software, based off of your settings, will post accordingly, okay? Next thing we're going to remove groups tab, okay? You have the ability here, folks, to post to open groups, small groups. All groups consist of open groups and closed groups. Specify the amount of time between each point, so it's run time. This function right here gives you the ability to remove, to have less than X amount of members. So the group that you want to remove have less than 400 members, the software will go ahead and remove those members. Now, based off of, let me just put this here, based off of what your selection here, if you have to select the open groups or all groups, if it's all groups, you come over here and this is the number of groups you can select to have removed by the software. If you chose open groups, you come over here to this drop down, the software would basically remove the groups you selected based off of what you have over here drop down. That's it for this tab. The post bump option. This will allow you folks to make a comment on a post that either you made or someone within the Facebook groups made. And when you make that comment, the significance of it is that when you make a comment on a post that was made in the past, whether that post was made 1 minute ago or a day or months ago, it's going to bring that post back to the very first page of that group at the very top. Okay? Now you have the ability to make a post and leave the comment in place, or make a post, make a comment and remove the comment, okay? You have the ability to do that. Now, how I would use these two functions, if I have a second account, and let's say I want to post bump, I want to take the post I made with my real account, and I want that post to be brought back to the very first page of that group at the very top, then I would make the comment with my fake account, leave the comment in place. It would obviously be linking to an opportunity or something, and it would still bump my original post that I made with my real account back up to the very top. How would I use this other option here, post bump with comment removed, if I don't have a second account, and I want to basically take my post that I made on my own account and move it back to the very front? I would have the software make the comment and then immediately remove the comment, because it makes no sense to comment on your own post. Now, in our recent testing flows, this option, pretty much I could do it at will, okay? I had no problem making comments on hundreds of posts with no restriction or any notifications from Facebook. Now, at the time that you're doing this video, whenever that may be, this option may not be in place like it is right now. There may be some restrictions put in place, but I can tell you right now, there's no restrictions put in place, and I pretty much can do this at will. But with anything, Facebook is subject to change, and if Facebook makes changes, then the software will have to adapt with those changes that Facebook makes. So that's the way things are right now. If they change, then I have no control over that, okay? So anyway, you can, just like in other tabs, specify the runtime wait between software making that adjustment in terms of making a comment, and you want to make a comment every 5 to 10 minutes, the software will pause 5 to 10 minutes and then goes and makes another post bump or comment, whatever you call it, then that's what the software will do. Now, you also have the option, just like in our posted groups tab, to have the software take a break after it makes X amount of post bump comments. So if I wanted the software to make a post bump every 10 groups, then that's what I would select. And then how long do I want the software to take a break for? I want the software to take a break for 15 minutes. Now, this all depends on how many groups you load up into the software. So if you load up 100 groups, that's how many that's how many post bump the software is going to do. You load up 1,000 groups, that's how many post bump the software is going to make. So only put in the amount of groups in the list that you want the software to post bump or make comment on. That's it. So that is pretty much that simple. Now you have to make a comment. You have to put some information in this block. I don't care if it's hello, hi, my name is. Something has to go here in order for this function to work. So I just want you to be aware of that. Also, something has to go here. The person's name, whether it's your name or someone else's name, the exact way that Facebook has it in Facebook is exactly the way it needs to be displayed here in this field. So my name is Sean A. Walters or Sean B. Walters. Then that's exactly how it needs to be laid out here with the space in between the first, middle, and last name, okay? Now, just like in my other tabs, in my X tab, and in my posted groups tab, in the post bump option, you have the ability to save this field, which is spinnable, this field right here, which is spinnable. You can save these two fields and name them to whatever you want to call them, profile, whatever they call them later. You can load information, save it, or delete the comment info, okay? So that is it for the post bump tab. And the option is disable notifications. So if you are a member of 2,000 groups or 200 groups, and you probably seen before, there's little messages that will appear on the left-hand side of your browser window when you're in Facebook, and you're a member of 100, 200, 300 groups, and if some of those groups are not disabled in terms of notifications you can see, every time Joey makes a post, you're going to see it. Every time someone else makes a post, you're going to see it. So if you want to disable those notifications so you don't see that information, then you have the option to do that from open groups and your all groups, okay? Now, let me just go ahead and bring this up here real quick so you can understand how this works. So based on what you set here, set open groups, this tab, this drop-down right here is click onto your open groups. The amount of groups that you want to disable notifications for, you can select from here, okay? If you have the all groups drop-down section here, you can go here to all groups and you'll be select from this drop down how many all groups that you want to disable notifications for. Now you also have the ability based off, once you do your selection over here, you apply to whatever you select over here, drop down. You can select how many groups you want. Basically if a group has less than X amount of members, you can disable those notifications. So if you want to select groups that have less than 600 members, it will disable notifications for groups that have less than 600 members, okay? You want to disable notifications for groups that have less than 1 million members. You pretty much be disabling notifications for all your groups. If you select 0, then it wouldn't apply to any groups. Okay, so that's how that works. Now, you have the ability, just like in other tabs, to select the wait time between it doing the disabling on the different groups you were a member of. So if you wanted the software to perform this action every 1 to 2 minutes, we'll pick a random time between 1 and 2 minutes to disable notifications for those groups. So that is it for the disable notifications tab. The last 2 tabs we have here is add groups to a list and get groups members data. This is critical, folks. This is probably a big component for a lot of you. And right now, this tab, at the time of this video, for the, I would say this is still in beta. You can pretty much gather about 2,500 members with no problem. But if you're looking to do that over 3,000 members, I'm still working on a way where the software does not slow down because of a lot of data. So I'm setting it up front. 2,500 members, no problem. Over 2,500 members, we start. As of right now, I'm not too sure. This is something we'll resolve. But as of right now, at the time of this video, about 2,500 members, you can gather data for no issue. That's actually get group members data tab. So this tab right here. And that is when you'll see that we get it back once you make the purchase. So I just want to bring this to your attention so there's no misunderstanding. I'm not trying to hide anything, but a lot of data is gathered from Facebook. So anyway, let me go just add groups to this tab here real quick. You have the option to get open groups, closed groups, all groups. All groups consist of open groups and closed groups and secret groups. Basically what you would do is you would put a keyword here. Whatever that keyword is, MLM, Empower Network, whatever your fancy is. And the software would basically go ahead and gather that group data, okay? The group name and group URL. So this option over here from the drop down, gather groups, the group speed, applies to how fast the information and the data is being gathered by the software. Now, because Facebook gets upset sometimes when you're pulling that information too fast, we have the option here to slow the software down. So there's a 1 second delay built in when you choose fastest, 3 seconds when you choose fast, 5 seconds when you choose average, 7 seconds when you choose slow, 10 seconds when you choose slowest, and 15 seconds when you choose super slow, okay? I usually choose average. Facebook is usually okay with that. They don't freeze the page or anything like that. And you understand what I'm saying? If you use the software, Facebook gets upset sometimes because you're pulling all that data. So anyway, all you need to do at that point is choose where you want to save this information to. I usually save it to my desktop and I'll create a blank document, a blank TXT document, like so. Name it, whatever. And I would choose it over here where we find this document, and it's good to go. So the end result of what you receive, because you also are creating a master list of this data. So this is add groups to a list. So I come over here, save list of groups added to a list. And let's say I did this for all groups, right? Let me see if I saved any, let me do open groups. I say I did this for open groups, but I actually did something with this earlier. So at the same time, let's say your keyword was MLM, right? It's going to create a sublist for the keyword, okay? So if you are doing, let's say you did 10 words for this, it's going to have 10 separate lists that are separated by the keyword. So if I did a query for MLM, you got one for MLM. Let's say I did one for network marketing, there'd be another one for network marketing. Let's say I did one for Empowered Network, there'd be a second one for Empowered Network, so on and so on. And they will all be numbered. The reason why it's number 3 is because I deleted number 1 and number 2 earlier. So, and all these, the combination of all these different keyword-generated text documents that contain information are all compiled and combined in the master list of open groups. So if I open this up, this is what I see. I basically didn't do much of the searches. I kind of stopped it, but I say if I had, hundreds, if not thousands of different groups for this keyword MLM, then this whole master list would be filled all the way down. And as you can see, it's separated by the group name, right there, comma, the actual URL of the group, okay? So, that's how it's separated. If you want to actually generate an Excel spreadsheet with this information, you can do that. I actually show you how to do that in the video once you make your purchase, so that you don't have to sort through all this data. So that's how that works. And if you save it from here, it's going to save the actual URLs. It's going to save the URLs to the group. Because if you want to take that data and go to postal groups or what have you, you don't have to sort all this information out. You don't have to separate the actual group name from the group URL. So that's why I created a master list. The master list saves everything. But so when you save it from here, from the interface, you only get the URLs where you need to easily be able to jump from tab to tab if necessary. So the last tab we'll cover here, and I'm losing my voice, it sounds like, get groups members data. Okay, it should say get group member data. Yeah, get group member data. I need to change that. But what you will find here is if you're able to gather group members data using search term / keyword, it will go right here. Or if you had a list of groups and it had to be open groups, you would upload it over here. So those are two options you have, okay? And once again, gathering that data, you can go very fast or super slow. Now, I'm going to show you what the end result is of what you would get when you are gathering that data. Let's say you gather that data by keywords as search term. You have a master list again, and then based off of the keyword that you query, it will create a keyword-rich document with the keyword in it, okay? So no matter if my search term is MLM, it will create one for MLM. If it was network marketing, it will create one for network marketing, okay?